So, did Hollywood just get caught waging a secret war on women? Laura Ingraham joins us. She is the radio star of the whole country, and Mike,
the entire galaxy.
universe.
Yes, the galaxy of radio.
War on women in Hollywood.
Does any of this surprise you? I mean, none of this surprises me. Not that racially insensitive references to President Obama, not the fact that Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams get less in movie payoffs than the men. It doesn't. You know, being a liberal, I mean, to live up to all of this PC nonsense, frankly, a lot of it is PC, it's impossible, right? I mean, no one's going to live up to the standard that, say, a Jesse Jackson or a Gloria Steinem sets for liberals. And so they're always going to be disappointing the icons of and the gatekeepers of the liberal stratosphere. So none of this surprises me at all.
You know, the White House paying women $10,000 less than men on average. And the response was, it was a couple months ago, it came out, it said the response was, well, it's because the men have the more important jobs.
Yeah,
and I thought, that's even worse.
Right,
I mean, to me, that's worse.
Same thing with Hollywood, though, as well, right? When you looked at the payroll for the top executives, most of them are male and most of them are white. So, again, it doesn't surprise me. The one thing I think is interesting, though, here is if, let's say, a North Korean sympathizer, they're calling themselves the guardians of peace, these hackers, right? They're promising more revelations, and they're telling the people at Sony, well, if you individually write to us, we may spare you. So there's like emotional blackmail going on. What are the chances, if North Korean sympathizers can do this to Sony, what do you say the chances are that China can do this to the Pentagon? I mean, I'm sorry, but this hacking thing, it's so obvious that stuff you put in emails is probably going to be, you know, accessible someday to other people.
I guess I sort of expect women to do better in this respect. Is that one of the women who has one of these emails, one of the women talking about the difference in the pay for women actors over male actors is a woman herself, and it's sort of like, you know, I thought like if the women aren't even going to bother to stand up for each other, they're going to be complicit in unequal pay for women.
Right.
And then, you know.
I agree with you. I also think a couple of other nuggets here that are interesting. Amy Pascal is the co-chairman of Sony Pictures, who's, you know, her email was hacked, and her comments about Obama. What was interesting is not so much those comments, insensitive, you know, so forth, but that she didn't want to go to the Obama fundraising event. She was annoyed by the whole thing. And so, although Hollywood gives a lot of money to the Obamas, and there was an early, you know, honeymoon with the Obamas, it seemed like that wore off pretty quickly. And for Pascal, it was like, oh, God, we got to go to another Obama thing at Geffen's house, or I think it was Geffen's house. So that kind of, I found that a little bit interesting.
Did you see who she turned to handle? She wants advice.
She had to go
for her racially insensitive comments.
No, where do you go to get absolution in Hollywood? Think about the insanity of this. You go not to your priest, or not to your church, or not to your support group. You go to Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. They went down their penitential pathway to Reverend Al. Now, that really does say it all. If Hollywood, if you had any credibility, you lost it.
Well, look, you know, this whole thing with also...
Why are they the gatekeepers of absolution here?
I don't know. You know, for the life of me, I don't understand why Reverend Al Sharpton gets most favored status at the White House. According to the New York Times, he owes almost $5 million in back taxes, which means the rest of us have to pick up the freight.
Special treatment. He gets the special treatment because he has all the right views, and he clears the pathway, usually for liberals. So if you go to Al to get your penitential appointment, and you pass the test, then he'll give you the absolution. Then you can go on to do whatever you want to do.
Getting back to Hollywood, you know, I guess that everyone a lot of people take a lot of pleasure in the fact that when Hollywood gets caught with his pants down, because I mean, like, you know, Hollywood is
lecturing
oftentimes
us.
Lectured. Well, they
hands up, don't shoot. How about hands up, make a decent movie? How's that? How about that?
I mean, there's just, I mean, the fact is that you know that they're so, you know, that they were so big on the war on women. And look, there is a war on women in many nations, and American men can do a lot better. Just American men happen to be a million times better than any men of any culture around the world. I'll take American men over non-American any day.
When they slap a burqa on you, you know, at 95 degrees, then you can talk about war on women. I'm sorry, I'm not losing sleep over the fact that Amy Adams makes $1.2 million of the $9.5 million that Bradley Cooper makes. I mean, they're all doing really well.
I wish I could be the fly.
They're all doing really, really well.
I just want to be the fly on the wall.
Make believe.
I want to be the fly on the wall when she goes, when she meets with Al Sharpton.
No. First of all, stop before you do any more damage to your reputations. That's what I say.
Laura, always nice to see you. The radio show's hot, always doing well.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Nice to see you.